It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Believe it. I missed everything.
Missed the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
How would you feel if your grown children and your mom and dad all lived in the same house? These multi-generational houses are a big, big thing in a lot of cultures. But how would you feel doing it right now, today? We asked that question earlier this morning, got some great responses. You should hear that coming up in the podcast. Let's go!
Bingo! How fun!
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo.
Bingo!
Bingo what bingo?
Bingo! Bingo! So here's how Listener Bingo works. It's quickly becoming our favorite segment because it's your story that dominates here. We want you to call us immediately if either of these fit your lifestyle. Maybe you're somebody listening who
has something offensive on your vehicle, something that is well visible. People have a hard time with it.
Who's going to admit to this?
They pull it. What do you mean? You have a bumper sticker. There's a reason why people put stuff on their cars because they are vocal about their feelings. Are you kidding me? But one, we tried to give away a long time ago, about like 15 years ago.
This was almost the end of the show.
We gave away a ton of these, and then somebody around here had a problem with them.
I've also heard an argument about this bill saying, well, it could penalize people who put certain things on their trailer hitches.
They call them truck nuts. They're gross, they're offensive, and kids on the road see them. So why wouldn't the police get a call and say, that offends me, pull it off the truck? Because now this bill will allow it.
Okay, so they're funny looking.
They're trying to ban truck nuts.
Yeah, so that's in Idaho. So you have something offensive on your vehicle. What is it? So
Well, this is a flashback I didn't need this morning. I'm looking for anyone listening who just doesn't go to work. We had heard from somebody who played this morning a game with us. We said, what are you going to do today? Got to go to work? And he goes, no, I'm just going to hang out.
Just hanging out.
So, like, you tell your friends, your family members, people around you that, I'm just not going to work today. Now, maybe you were blessed. You fell into a bunch of money. Maybe you got to retire early, but you're just not going to go to work.
What a life.
And since Megan said she's already going to work, I'm guessing you fit Kat's bingo this morning, right, Megan?
Oh, yes. Hi.
I'm sorry. Did you think we were talking to the other Megan?
No.
All right.
Should we just sit here and have awkward conversation, or do you want to tell us what's on your card that's a little bit offensive?
So I have a, you know how people have the window magnets that say baby on board?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine says baby up in this bee.
And do you get laughs or like thumbs up?
Most people are like, yeah, I like that. We did have an elderly gentleman once that stopped my husband at the gas station and asked if it was really necessary to have that.
Of course it's not necessary. It doesn't have anything to do with the structural integrity of my vehicle.
Did he think it was the guy that put that on your car? So he was mad for you. I love when people get mad for other people.
Yeah, my husband was just like, yeah, it's necessary. Yeah. And just like went about putting his gas on.
Do you ever get weird looks? You said you were dropping your daughter off at daycare. Is that the spot you're most likely to get the weird looks?
No. Honestly, I figured I would at work, but no one's really said anything either. It's usually at Walmart. People are like, hey, yeah, I like your sticker.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, thanks.
That's your crowd.
Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
All right.
And what color is this baby up in this bee sticker?
Oh, it's bright yellow. It's a yellow caution sign.
I love it. Do you guys remember, I don't know how old you are, Megan, but what were they called that were so popular for a while, but you could stick them on your window? I think they were called Moonies. And they had this little pump on it, like an air pump. And when you pressed it, the guy would moon somebody. Do you remember ever seeing those?
Oh, my gosh. No, I don't remember that, but that's hilarious.
If your kids were sitting in the back seat, they could hold the little air bulb, and if they pressed it, this guy that was like a little cartoon figure would de-pants himself, and it would moon the people that were next to you. I always thought those were the best. I really wanted one of those.
You can probably get one on Amazon today.
Look at it.
And
listen.
They have those signs now that you have like a hand on it, and you can flick people off.
Oh, right. They're like neon, and you can use a little use a little switch. Those are that's like a 6 months from now, Timu's going to get it to you kind of order, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, I like that. All right. Well, hey, thanks for chiming in. I think this is a great sticker. Hey, when you get stopped today, will you take a quick pic and text it to us? Because I really want to see this.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Megan. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Yep, my thing.
Now, we had a couple of people texting in, what's the truck nut story? So this had to be 10 years ago, at least.
I used to call businesses that had funny or weird products, and it was right when they came out. Like Elf on the Shelf, we had her on the week she developed it.
Yeah.
And so we gave away Elf on the Shelf, all these weird things. And then we got the creator of truck nuts to send us a bunch.
He sent us like 24 sets of truck nuts.
And so we were like, everybody, like Oprah, like the best Oprah gift ever. I'm like, you get one, you get one, you get one.
Probably our most popular contest ever.
I bring up the box of them and the winner sheets, and somebody here was like, we're not handing these out. This is disgusting. I'm not touching these. And so we had to.
The worst
never give them
text
away
we would
again.
always get during the morning would be like the president of our company would text us in my office 10:03
After the show.
Jesus, we'd walk in there. When the day we walked in there, he just grabs them and he holds them up and he goes, "What the hell are these?" And I go, "They're truck
Your
nuts."
laughing did not help.
I go, "They're truck nuts." And he goes, "And we're giving these away right now?" And I go, "Yeah, everybody wanted them. These are very offensive. We're not giving these away anymore." And I'm like, all right. So I guess, but he's not here anymore. Could we get away with it now?
Yeah, I'll reach out. We'll get a dozen
It could
more.
be truck nut season up in here.
Yeah.
I have to be very particular now with the boys I coach in spring baseball at a high school level with the shoes I wear to practice.
Did they razz you?
I had some really nice New Balance shoes.
Actually, New Balance are like huge now.
I know.
I saw that basketball commercial with like all the big college players.
I have some very nice ones that I reserve only for like indoor practices, right? Because they feel good. They got enough grip where if I've got to, kind of help somebody with a drill or something like that, I'm not sliding all around. But GQ is now highlighting what they're calling grandpa sneakers.
Oh, no.
And here's what you have to be worried about. Your pop, if he wants the shoes he's normally getting, is going to end up spending $250 to $300 on these new grandpa shoes. They're in fashion right now. So most of them are white or beige with the big NB on the side, regular strings.
Or the gray.
The gray is good too, but that's almost a little too fashionable for grandpa. So again, they're pumping up the price on these New Balance shoes to $250. They're calling them, quote, downright orthopedic.
Yeah. Well, all the models are wearing New Balance. They leave with their leisure day look, and they have those ugly mom jeans that don't do anything for their body, and then the New Balance shoes. And so, yeah, they can hike up the price.
They say, like your grandfather, this fashion might stay a while. So be ready for it. So I thought, all right, let's do a fun thing. You probably consider yourself youthful and hip. And I want you to just grab a quick piece of paper or mentally take note on how many points you're going to get out of this survey, Kat.
Okay, go ahead.
You get 1 point for every one of these that is in your life.
Okay.
You get 1 point if you know where any kind of ointment or knee joint pain reliever topical would be in your home.
I just organized. Yes.
You get 1 point if any time this morning you've groaned, whether you've been sitting, standing, or... Okay. You get 1 point if you have ever had to enlarge your phone font from what the original setting was.
No, not yet. But I do have to hold it a little bit further away.
You get
It's bad.
1 point.
All right.
If you more than not often print your boarding pass.
Okay.
You're tallying them up.
I never have it on my phone.
You get 1 point if in the last week you've started a story with, I remember when.
Yes.
You get 1 point if you've ever bought anything from the Franklin Mint.
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, like it's the late night TV shows or QVCs where they're trying to sell you coins, or even your grandpa probably bought a lot of those figurines from the Franklin Mint. I think they do a lot of like pewter stuff.
Have you ever bought anything off the TV? I've never bought anything.
We're so cool
like
about
an
buying
infomercial.
anything off of Amazon, but nobody buys anything off of infomercials anymore. You get 1 point if you've ever had to nurse a pickleball injury.
No, because I don't go that hard.
And you get your last point if you carry a pack of mints. Bonus points if they're in a metal tin.
Okay, I have those in my car, but I have Listerine strips. So I do
half a
not
point
want
for
bad
that.
breath ever.
So you total it all up. How many points?
So
do you have?
4.5.
I'm looking for anyone that just took that survey that's got more than 4.5 points off of that. By the way, I was at 6. Growing up, you had dogs. You don't have any pets currently, but what were your dogs' names? You had some that were named after Shakespearean characters, right?
Well, those were our cats. Othello, Hamlet. I forget it. We had one more cat. All at different times.
Romeo?
We didn't have like a house full of animals. We would replace one when one died.
Okay.
And then we had Gracie 1, and then we got Gracie Lou Freebush because Gracie 1 died.
So you had Gracie 2.
Tragically. And then Gracie Lou Freebush, and then Sophie, and then Connor, and now my parents have Eamon.
So when you had to holler for Gracie Lou Freebush, what would you say?
Just Gracie.
Gracie, got
you know,
it.
when she got in trouble, it was Gracie Lou Freebush.
All 3 names.
Yeah.
So my wife is very cautiously. No, she's obsessed, but she's very cautiously starting to ping me because I call our dog Addison, named after the street Wrigley Field is on. I call her Dummy all the time because the dog it's a smart dog, but it's dumb. Now, you can't call your kids Dummy. People are going to look the other way, right? Or look at you a little harsh. So I call this dog, I just go, you want to go outside, Dummy? And she responds to it, so it's kind of
helping
funny.
the case, yeah.
So I thought, let's do this real quick. If you have a pet, what's its name, but what do you really call it? Like, you've probably got a nickname for your pet. That's what I want to start grabbing calls on right now. So call us real quick. So, Alicia, you're first up. What do you got?
Yeah, we named him Tucker, and now we call him Tuck Tuck.
Okay, so that's an easy one, right? Tucker, Tuck Tuck. I like
It's
that.
just one of those names, especially for kids. It's sad when they're younger. You can't play the name game with them.
Allison's got a pet.
Well, my ex has our 2 dogs.
Your ex.
One of them, her name is Bailey, and we always call her Bailey Boo.
All right, I kind of get that one. How about the other dog?
My mom has a dog, too, who I see more often. Her name is Echo, but we call her Echo McGecko.
Okay, I like that. Echo McGecko. I like that one. Courtney, tell me about your pet.
Yes, so his actual name is Deuteronomy T. Skaggs.
So if you don't call him Deuteronomy T. Skaggs, what do you call him?
And we call him Dude.
Dude, see, I like that. I like that. Dude, the very first dog I ever had, my dad named it Dog.
Yeah.
It was just
Get over your dog.
Yeah, because you yell at it, it's just dog. Elizabeth, what do you got for us?
He does, and he got his name very funnily because they were selling him for $50 at a gas station.
Oh.
And when I came out, I said, I will give you $5 for one of those dogs. And they said, okay. So I got a deal, and I started naming him Abraham.
Because he's on the $5 bill.
Absolutely. As he got a little older, his nickname has become Abers, A-B-E-R-Z. And we love him. He's 13 years old, and he's the best dog you could ever have.
Yeah, that's a good run for Abers.
Yeah, it is.
Good morning to Sam. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. What kind of pet do you got? What's its name? What's its nickname?
We got a Corgi Chihuahua, and her name is Millie Billy Boo, but we call her Big Back because she's a thick little girl.
She thick. Oh, she got that thing, doesn't
She's
she?
thick.
I don't know why
Yeah.
I was walking by and my son was watching a video and he just yelled out like Big Back and I was like, what? Thought he was talking to me and he had to do like a quick rewind. But who came up with the initial name? Like who was responsible for that?
My kids, they're younger, so they know this new slang going around.
Yeah. As long as they're not calling you that, then you're good.
Maybe my
You know, Sam, you're going to get to a point where you're going to be, that's a term of affection. You're going to get to a point in your life where, like, I wish more guys would call me Big Back.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Do you know what Big Back means?
I do know what Big Back means.
Okay. I don't want to be called that.
There's a lot of guys that are really, really into that. So, and what's its real name, though?
Millie Billy Boo.
Millie
Okay.
Billy Boo. And you just call her Big Back now. And the kids are okay with saying that in front of their friends?
Yeah, they encourage it.
Probably the most popular dog in the neighborhood. Like all the other boy dogs are like, where that Big Back at?
Very cute.
Hey, thanks for calling, Sam. Hope you have a great morning.
Have you watched Renovation Aloha?
I have not seen Renovation Aloha.
It is beautiful because it's on the island of Hawaii and some of the surrounding islands, but it's this couple that goes in and they renovate homes in Hawaii.
This is gorgeous.
Probably the best area on the island.
One of, for sure.
Yeah, one of.
Manoa is one of the oldest neighborhoods in all of Oahu.
It has original owners with original construction, old homes. It has newer families. It has multi-generational families.
So right I listened a little bit more about the multi-generational families, and that's how they do it in Hawaii.
Imagine if your mom and dad moved into your basement.
That would be a lot. That would be a lot to deal with. But they have their own creature comforts of home. But in the Hawaiian culture, like, you don't put your parents in a home. You don't let them go and just get old somewhere. You take care of them like they took care of you.
But you also don't have the yearning desire to get out at 18 like we do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, everyone's like, when I turn 18, I'm getting out of here and I'm not living by your rules anymore.
Because we say when I'm 18, I'm living in paradise like Hawaii. They're already there, so they have nowhere to go. But Dina had texted, hey, my husband's mom actually lives in our basement, moved in with us 3 years ago, and I love it. She gives us our space, but also has so much help with the kids. And you know, when you're an early couple, I get it. You want your space. But, you know, if you can have the help, and it's also really good for kids, you know, to have that village, to be there, to help out, life would get a little bit easier, you know. We had 3 houses in our neighborhood, and all 3 of them moved, and they have a compound like 7 miles from here. They bought all this land, and all 3 of these families, 2 sisters and their mom and dad, live on this big
But it's a
piece
different
of land.
house, right?
They all live in different houses.
Yeah, I could get that. Both my parents are gone. I miss them dearly, but if they would have been like, hey, we're going to need to move in, I would have gone above and beyond to scrape together enough money to make what do they call them, a grandma house? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like another smaller house on your property where they can have a kitchen and a bathroom and a bedroom and a place where they can be around if you need them, but they're not just like there all the time.
Yeah, and I would do that. I don't know if Derek would do that for either sets of our parents where
he needs a little more space.
Yeah, but I mean, if we had acres and acres and, you know, I had a little house over here and a little house over here, and I don't know. I look at family like I'm not going to leave them destitute or anything like that. But if you live in one of those multi-generational houses, is it everybody on top of each other? Do you enjoy it? Do you find it helpful or annoying?
There's someone always there, though. Like, I don't like being alone often, but one of the pure joys in life is to just be alone for like a couple of minutes.
And that's where you set boundaries, though. Everyone needs boundaries in a situation like that.
Kat had saw one of those renovation programs. So it's kind of like Maine Cabin Masters, but not a cabin and not in Maine.
Right. It's totally different. But it's in Hawaii, Renovation Aloha. And it was the first time I've watched it. And they went in to explain why most of these homes need to be made for multi-generations to live in. Like upstairs would be the younger generation. Then below would be like the grandparents' suite. So you have to make it like a little apartment down there.
So if you're middle-aged, you're kind of waiting on the grandparents to die off so you can move downstairs?
And then you live down there, and then your kids move upstairs with their families. And but I have a lot of pros with living in a multi-generational house. And Mallory had texted. Mallory's on right now. So tell us about your family situation and the home life.
Yeah, so we just moved into this house a little over a year ago, and we did it for my mother-in-law who's losing her sight. So we wanted to make sure that she was around somebody and it wasn't going to be a scary situation.
Yeah.
But the whole basement is like her own little apartment basically. It's going okay. She had a very hard time with it at first because
did she have to leave a house that she had been in for years and years and years and years? Is that what the deal was?
Exactly. Yeah. So she had a hard time with it not being her house and her rules, and we didn't have to listen to what she said all the time.
Do you guys give her a curfew and stuff? Like, what are your rules that she doesn't like?
No, not. I mean, she's got her own thing, but she stays downstairs, and she thinks that because she was with us, she can tell us how to raise our kids.
Yeah, let's go.
What we need to do and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's nice when she's downstairs and gives us our space, and she keeps her space.
So that
when
would be...
it has to be...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So when, like, she thinks, like, if she wants to invite somebody over, she's going to be hanging out upstairs with us, which is not a big deal if she lets us know, but that's our space.
Right.
And I'm like, no, if you want somebody over to hang out with, that's you and your space. And I think she had a whole different picture in her head when we got this kind of house. Like we were going to be just like this one big happy family, and that's just not how we are.
So do you hit a snag every week, or has it gotten easier? Have people kind of learned the way other people live?
It's gotten easier, for sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Now knowing what you know, and after
it was harder in the first month.
After you've been through it, would you ever recommend this to someone? Obviously not.
I would if you know you're going to get along with that person. If, we kind of knew, how hard-headed she is, so we kind of knew it was going to be difficult going into it. But I think if you get along with that person, it's going to be a lot better. Oh, turkey. Oh, sorry.
All right, we'll let you focus on the road here.
Oh, that was my favorite part of the show so far today. So, Mallory, let's say you've got one extra room in your house, and you have to let either Kat or myself live with you for just 90 days. Who do you go with and why?
Kat, for sure.
Do you know her bathroom? Do you know her bathroom situations?
That's okay. I think if I had to have another, sorry to say, JJ, but another guy with the way that you think in my house, I would go crazy.
You don't even know the mental opportunities you'd have ahead of you and how I could expand your horizons to be the full thinking person you really should be, Mallory.
You just have to lock in somewhere and just...
I want you to give this some thought. You maybe call back tomorrow after you've changed your mind.
She won't.
We'll welcome back out of the show. Look out for the turkeys. Have a good morning.
Bye, Mallory.
Look at all this money we're going to try and give you Tuesday morning during our live show. We've got $50,000 for you to take home. And all you got to do is show up about 8:20 Monday morning. And right before that, in the 7 o'clock hour, another chance to identify our secret sound, which sounds just like this, for $1,000. Thanks to St. Cloud Toyota. So lots to see and do up in here Tuesday morning during the live show as we wrap up the podcast for you now.
I heard the audio from this woman, and I think she's a lot like other women out there that are single, just trying to find their match.
I need a man because I'm tired of doing a man's job. I don't want to be an independent woman anymore. I had that grill delivered 3 months ago, and I still haven't put it together because I don't know how, and I don't want to, and I don't want to learn. My gas heater broke, and I don't know how to fix it. My garden beds need tended to. I don't want to do any funny business, but I'll play golf with you, and I make a really good old-fashioned.
She's putting her appeals out there,
Playing the
hoping
long
to
game.
attract a man. How's that washer fluid going for you?
My wife put it in herself.
Stop that.
Yeah, she got tired of people making fun of her on the internet. And I found that just shaming my family into doing things on the internet seems to be working more than me reminding them every day of doing something.
I would say you're not a lazy husband. You do a lot around the house. Anything she needs, you say, yes, dear. I hear it.
Lately, I've been a lot more because she phrases it in the, she wants to move our fire pit this year.
Yeah.
So she'll tell people, and so we're going to move that. And I go, when are we going to do that, Trish? When are you going to dig up all of that?
Yeah.
And when are you going to get the wheelbarrow out? And when are we going to move all that over?
You don't find her helping at all that day?
She'll help for sure. She'll help, but it's the way she phrases it, and it's suddenly convenient that I've got a baby shower I have to be on while I'm gone. Do you think you could move that fire pit? That'll be the angle.
So I'm not single. Hope I never am, because that just sounds exhausting.
You never will be.
Yeah,
you're like me. You just want to be around people. I think that's fine.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's the hunt, not everybody's going to be your lobster and then to finally find somebody. But I wanted to know, you're single right now. What is the most appealing part of finding someone? But Tiana had texted and been single for 2 years. I just want someone to snuggle with. I miss that. That makes me sad for Tiana. To go to bed alone every single night. Kendra had texted, my next BF boyfriend has to have skills. My ex was a lump. Never did a thing. I'd love someone motivated. So listen, there's somebody out there for everybody. I want to know the real reason why you want to find someone. Is it to put together your barbecue? But you have to offer something in return. You make a hell of an old fashioned. But
offering in return.
Well, did you hear what you said? I don't want any funny business. I don't want to do anything.
I thought she was referring to I don't want to do any work. I just want him to put everything together and fix everything. That's what I thought she was getting
I got
at.
it the other way.
I'll tell you this much. Coming from a guy's angle, and it's been a long time since I've been single, if you don't have the skills where they're necessary, you're just not going to get a guy that's going to do everything for you. It's the oldest give and take. It's in the Bible, man.
But it's not fair to make somebody, because that's when resentment sets in.
For
if you expect somebody to do everything in the relationship, if you consider yourself in, and I know some people, they're princess era, it's not a real thing. You have to have that give and take, that partnership, and that's where it gets beautiful.
I think it would be tough for me to put something like this on the internet. It seems a little upfront.
I need a man because I'm tired of doing a man's job. I don't want to be an independent woman anymore. I had that grill delivered 3 months ago, and I still haven't put it together because I don't know how. And I don't want to, and I don't want to learn. My gas heater broke, and I don't know how to fix it. My garden beds need tended to. I don't want to do any funny business, but I'll play golf with you, and I make a really good old-fashioned. Let me know.
This could be as easy as making a friend that has a few skills, you know what I mean?
Get a roommate or something like that. Colin said, I'd love to find a feminine woman. I keep running into bossy women. Ooh. I'm a manly man. And Colin, there's a difference between a manly man and then, what word am I trying to think of? Oppressed.
Yeah, if they just want you in the kitchen and stuff like that, then that's a little bit different, right?
I read something a long time ago where it's like, if you are the manly man that she needs, she'll be the feminine woman that you're seeking. Because, when we feel like we have to take on all the masculine energy and duties in a relationship, then it won't be as balanced as some would want. So
Stephanie said he's got to be a better dad to my kids than their original dad. He never sees the kids, and when he does, he posts everything on Facebook and Instagram for about 3 weeks, making it look like he's always with his kids. He never sees them. I need somebody who's going to be a great dad and a good mate.
That goes for girls, too, that get, a quick weekend custody situation of their kids. It's kind of funny. When you know somebody's situation, and then you see them post like, oh, it was an amazing weekend with my babies, and wish I could do it all the time, but then you see them make no effort.
You probably could do it more than what you're doing it. You're just not making that effort. Right. So if you're currently looking for someone, like what's high on the priority list? Hit us with a text.
A man in Oregon says that someone keeps leaving large gallon-size bottles of pee inside his recycling bin. He's like, I have no idea who.
So I went to open the blue bin, and lo and behold, there was a nice deposit of gallon-sized bottles of urine, to put it plainly. And there were 6 of them. And I don't know why he's hitting the same location so many times. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It's got to be a trucker, right?
It has to be. Or is there a construction site around there that doesn't have a porta potty and maybe everyone just goes in the same gallon jug?
Well,
I don't know.
Most guys are going to pee outside. You know what I mean? Like, you're just going to take a whiz outside. You're going to go behind a tree or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, the only time I've ever heard of people really filling up gallon jugs
or on a road trip.
Truckers that don't want to stop.
Yeah. And you know how arsonists like to watch from the crowd?
Oh, he was watching.
He might be in a bush somewhere. You never know. So kind of like pretend like you're not looking. You might peep somebody over there. All right, so Hooters. I think their chicken wings are incredible. Yes, I auditioned to work there once. Did not get the job because I was a little flatter than ideal, evidently, but they are going to become more family friendly to avoid bankruptcy. So they're tiptoeing that line of not having enough money to continue on. So they're calling it a re-Hooternization.
Hey, y'all. We're back. Right when you thought we were done as a chicken fried steak, me and the Hooter girls will be back for more. So if you were saying to yourself, I wish there was a restaurant with more fresher items, but with less cleavage and a dumb name, Hooters is ready to serve you. Hey, maybe they'll even have man waiters. Nah, that'd be stupid.
She did snort. Yes, fresher ingredients coming your way. A nice family-friendly environment. We need more of that. So let's support those ladies.
You win the Powerball tonight. How you going out?
I know. I mean, this conversation is daily with my dad. So after I get off of work, I have a good 15-minute ride home. I like to check in on my dad, see how he's doing. And it's always the normal conversation. Walk down to the gas station, got my lotto ticket, going to wait for those winning numbers, and I'm going to get you this and your sister this
That's
and your brother
a
this.
great thing for him, though. Like
It is.
He's got goodness in his heart. He wants to spread that money around. He wants to make life better for everybody.
Yeah, he's a dreamer, and you can't fault him for that. But one thing I know that he wouldn't do is what this woman did. 41-year-old woman, she won the lotto, and the story is resurfacing. She won $3 million, okay? And obviously...
Really, it's about probably $1 million after you pay everybody off.
Yeah, either way, a lot of money. Enough to make her make the decision of going home on Friday, finding out she won, coming back to work on Monday, just to leave one more special package for her boss. And let's just say she was a delivery driver. So she delivered packages. So she had access to a box, and she just left some of herself in this box.
She pooped in a box and left it there. That's
on his desk.
My soul sister. I have thought
when
about...
I read that, I thought of you. That's really bad.
I had this as a major career goal for the better part of a decade. I thought, I am going to hit it. I'm going to get that job in L.A. or Chicago or New York. And everyone that's done me wrong, I'm going to crap on their desk. Now, that's a lot easier said than done, because in that kind of a high-pressure situation, I don't really know. Plus, no toilet paper. I like to have my phone with me. I like to be relaxed.
Yeah.
But I could probably do it if I had to.
It's one thing I know I'll never do, because
You're such a lady.
it's so gross. It's weird. People talk about you on the radio after. I want to know, though, have you ever had a boss that just, it didn't jive at all? Like, you didn't enjoy them. They were nasty.
How'd you get revenge? That's what I want to know.
For you to get revenge, yeah.
So I had a sweet revenge at a radio gig I had in southern Minnesota. They were trying, I could tell the heat was coming down, but I was getting married, and my wife and I got married on May 15th, and I could tell the heat was coming down, and I actually knew somebody else that was interviewing with our radio company, and we didn't have any jobs open.
Oh, okay.
So I realized I was probably on my way out, and they wanted to, the guy that was my boss wanted to meet with me so bad the week before I went and got married and went on our honeymoon. And I kept coming up with reasons that I couldn't get in there to meet with him.
Yeah.
And it was the week after I got back from my honeymoon that they fired me. Well, they owed me a bunch of money from work I had done. So I didn't say anything, and they brought me in for a meeting, and I kind of knew what was going on. I was already interviewing for another job, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. But what I did is I went home, I made myself a cocktail, I had a frozen pizza, and my wife was working for Prince at the time. So I call her, and I go, hey, I got fired. And she's like, all right. We kind of already knew this was going to happen. She's like, what's next? I'm like, well, actually, later on today, I'm going to drive an interview. I had hooked up an interview for another job already. And on the way there, though, I stopped back at the radio station. They had already deleted my key card, so I couldn't get in. And so I made them I made the owner write me a check right there for the amount. And they did it? He wrote it out of his personal checking account. So no taxes or anything were taken off of it, because they wanted to not see me again so bad.
Wow.
They were like, we just want to be done with you.
Wins.
I'll write you a check. And it was great, because I used that money for fuel. And then the potential employer that I was interviewing with, I took him out to dinner on that money.
Good for
and
you.
ended up getting that job. So, like, how'd you get even? I'm glad you called, Bruce. Tell us what happened here when you kind of got even with that old employer.
So when I was 17, and I'm not proud of this, when I was 17, me and some other coworker friends, we all decided to quit at the same time. And as an act of solidarity, we all peed in my boss's gas tank. He was horrible.
Gross.
You peed in his gas tank?
Yeah.
So you got a funnel out and all took a whiz in his car's gas tank?
We didn't use a funnel, and we brought him from halfway to full. So we really were doing community service.
Oh, my God. I can't even imagine. But I thought the thing was you pee in, like, the heating register or something, so then it smells on the inside of the
just
car.
going to get watered down. I think you do it as an action to not necessarily wreck his car, but like it meant something to you guys, right?
Exactly, and we didn't know what we were doing. We were 17, so I mean...
Yeah, 17 going out like that. I'm assuming you've grown up a hair?
Yeah.
That was a long pause.